Hey guys, I'm Kelly, and I'm basically going to be making this video to tell you guys about my experience with One Direction Ultimate VIP. A bunch of people on Twitter and all my friends have been asking me a ton of questions, so I thought it'd be easier to just make a video summing up the whole experience, and then, yeah, just summing up my experience and maybe giving tips and answering questions. I don't know. I've never done one of these before, so sorry. I'm a little nervous, so sorry if I'm awkward or it's bad, so I apologize in advance. So, yeah, the concert was actually originally supposed to be on July 6th in Hershey Park, and I live in Boston, so that's pretty far, and we planned our whole family vacation around it. We were going to go for July 4th, and it was, perfectly planned. So, 6 days before the concert, we bought our tickets from secondary market. We bought them on eBay, so we paid more than face value for them, but, yeah, so that was the only way we could get them. So the guy that we got them from calls us 6 days ahead and says, Hershey only has, they screwed up, we can only get you sound check for Hershey. So I'm freaking out, and he's but we have for Philly, except it's in 6 days, and if you want that, I can get them for you. So my mom's oh, yes, yes, yes. And luckily, we were having my 8th grade graduation party on the Saturday before the concert. So our family was staying Saturday and Sunday, and my grandma was scheduled to fly home on Monday morning. So we flew home with her and stayed at her house. So I don't know what would have happened if we didn't get that lucky. So it worked out, luckily. Yeah. So, I don't think you guys really want to hear about, all the detailed stuff, what time we got there and where we parked and, how we were outside the bus and stuff, but we didn't see him. I saw Ashton, though, but Ashton for 5 seconds summer, but he was on a hill. That's another story. So, yeah, if you guys want to hear it, again, comment below, and I'll make another video, a really detailed one. I started to make one for this, but it got too long, so I'm going to shorten it. So, yeah, basically, we went in. I'd say it was 3:05 we went in for meet and greet, and we checked in, and they gave us this necklace, and it says Ultimate VIP, and the regular VIP ones were bigger, so I don't really know why that is. But anyway, so we went in, and they took us, it was at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Don't know if you guys have been there, but so they took us down this staircase, and we were in the basement, and we were in this hallway. And we had to fill out, a paper basically saying, our email, and we had to give a descriptive thing about ourselves so that they would be able to match us up with our pictures. So, oh, and sorry my voice is kind of, hoarse and messed up because I was screaming so much last night. I kind of lost it. But, sorry, I'm off topic. Anyway, so we got in the room, and we asked our VIP host, me and a bunch of other people were oh, how long is it going to be? And she's 20 minutes. We're oh, 20 minutes, that's so long, because we thought we were going right to meet them, because they said, okay, you're going to be meeting them now. And she's no, I'm kidding, it'll probably be less than that. So when we were waiting outside, the girl behind us, her mom didn't have tickets, so she asked if she could kind of tag along with us just to make sure she knew someone was okay, and she was texting my mom the whole night. We just met her, but they were both really nice. So me and her and my mom and the girls in front of us and behind us, we all started talking. We're it's been so much longer than 20 minutes. So one of the girls oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'll because we had to put our phones away because they were really, really strict. She's I'll check my phone in the bathroom and see what time it is. So she comes out, she's it's been at least an hour. And I think it was an hour and a half, a half hour later than that, we finally went in the room. Well, they said, okay, you guys, we're going to go in. And I don't know why it took so long. I know there was a Make-A-Wish family, but they only went in 10 minutes before us. I found out later the guys were playing soccer outside, shirtless. And I think they were setting up, but I'm not really sure what was going on or why it took so long. And also, we had meet and greet before soundcheck, and I watched a lot of these videos for my meet and greet, and everyone says, oh, it's soundcheck first. So I was in shock. I'm okay, we're going to meet them. So we go into the room, and I see them. I see the boys. And the first thing I saw when I walked in was Louis coming off of Niall's back. They were on a piggyback, and I'm that's them. That's the boys that I love. So, he walked in the room, and I'm freaking out. But I was actually pretty calm. I thought I was going to be in tears, and, like, I thought I was going to be so nervous, but I was actually, like, really calm. Like, because they were so down to earth and stuff. Like, you could just feel in the room. They weren't being, like, divas or anything. So it was really, like, welcoming. So we're in the room, and, this is kind of embarrassing, but they had these screens, because, again, it was at the Wells Fargo Center, and we were in the Lexus Club. I think I said that already. But, so they had these screens, because it's like a bar, and they had screens that they show the, like, games that are on, or whatever games. And since there wasn't anything going on, they were just showing, like, upcoming people who were coming to the center, or to the arena, stadium place thing. So, my family is huge Philly sports fans, even though we don't live in the area anymore. We're still, like, you can see the Philly stuff in my room. Phillies and Eagles are, like, our two big ones. But he loves the Flyers and Sixers, too. Anyway, so I was talking to my mom, and I was turned the other way, and I hear Niall go Eagles. I'm like, yeah, go Eagles. Because when you say, like, go, you usually mean a sports team. I'm like, go Eagles. And I turned around, and on the screen, it was the band, the Eagles. And I was so embarrassed. And I'm like, I should have known that. Niall's obsessed with them. And then he started clapping, and it was really cute, and everyone else started clapping. So I'm like, yay, Eagles. And I was clapping. And then, so that was when we first went in. We were, like, the 5th or 6th people in line, I want to say. Like, the 5th or 6th group. So, yeah. There were, like, maybe 15 people in front of us. I'm not really sure. So, when the people two in front of us were going up, Harry sneezes, and I'm like, bless you, Harry. And then everyone behind me is like, bless you. And, like, because they all copy off of me, and he's heard me, and I think he might have saw me, and he knew I said it first. So he goes over to the people in front of him and points, and he's like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. I don't know why I said you're welcome, but it was nice. So, I'm freaking out. And then when the people in front of us went up, the Eagles came on the screen again. Niall clapped. We all clapped. So then, it's my turn to go up. And I had made them this scrapbook, basically, with a bunch of notes from fans and, like, reasons why I love them. But the main thing in it was, well, one day, I know this sounds really cheesy and everybody says this, but they honestly did kind of save my life. Like, it's a long story, but they really just helped me through so much, and it just meant so much for me to meet them and just thank them. So I wrote the letter in my book. It was like 2 pages, and they said we can't give them anything unless it's like a bracelet or something. We can't give it to them. We have to give it to security because they can't hold it for the pictures or something. So I gave it to the security guy, and I go over, and my original idea was a group hug. Everyone in front of me did a group hug. And I'm like, oh, what if they think I'm copying? I'm like, I don't care. So I went in, I'm like, can I have a group hug? And I don't know if they said sure or of course. I'm not even sure if they even said anything. But we go in, and while we're going in for the group hug, Harry was doing this, like, adorable thing. And he was, like, doing, like, as he was walking, he was going like this. And he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it was so cute. And the order they were in was Harry, Niall, Louis, Liam, Zane. So I was with Zane and Harry for the hug. And it wasn't like a tight hug. We were kind of in like a huddle so we could talk in the middle. And I thought it might be the only time I had all 5 of their attentions. So as we're coming out, I'm like, I just want to thank you guys so much because you guys kind of saved my life. And I just want to, my whole notes in the book, I just want to thank you guys so much. And I was like, I was slurring my speech. I was so nervous. But I think they got the message. And Harry, I learned this after meeting him. Like, I know he's a nice guy, but he's genuinely the most, like, down-to-earth guy. Like, when he says something, you can tell he honestly means it. And he looks me straight in the eyes, and he's like, thank you, babe. Or, I don't know if he said babe. He said, like, thank you and something. I'm not even sure what. But he's like, thank you. And then Niall put his hand up, and I think he wanted a high five, so I high-fived him. If he didn't, I'm sorry, Niall. It was probably really awkward. But he did. So then, for the picture, I wanted to stand between Liam and Louis, and I was so glad they were next to each other, because Liam's my favorite, and Louis was originally the one that made me love them. Niall's actually my second favorite now, but anyway, yeah, Liam and Louis were kind of they've always been, like, the 2 ones that are always my favorites, so I stood between them for the picture, and originally, my pose was going to be, well, I have a torn calf muscle, you can see me there. I play basketball, and I tore it, my calf. So I was going to have them all lifting me up and, like, pointing to it and making puppy dog face. And all the, like, VIP people were like, oh, after what happened the other night, we're not letting them carry anybody. And I don't know what happened. If any of you guys do, again, comment below. So they couldn't do that. So I was like, okay, I'll have Liam, because Liam with his puppy dog face, like, I was going to have him point to my foot and make the face. So I'm like, I'm standing next to him for the picture. I'm like, Liam, can you point to my leg? Because I heard it. I was going to say I tore my calf, but I just said I heard it. And I'm like, and can you make a puppy dog face? And he went like that to me to make sure I was okay. I'm like, yeah, perfect. And then he points to it. And then Zane pointed. And I don't know about the other guy. I haven't seen the picture yet. They email it to us within a few days, they said. So I don't even know what the picture looks like. I don't know what I look like. But, and the other big thing they were saying was, if you move or if you're, like, flinching or something, we're not going to retake it if it's blurry. We're only going to retake it if one of the boys does something that makes them blurry. So at the last second, Louis, like, gets his hand, and it hit my leg. He didn't mean to, because he wanted to point to my leg, and he decided at the last minute, and I guess it was blurry. So the girl points to him and says, okay, we're going to do it again. And I didn't know what was going on, so I'm just standing there smiling. I probably look like an idiot. I'm probably like, but whatever. I was excited. Okay, no hate. Please don't hate on me. So they hug me, and then I turn around, and Liam's like, bye, babe. And he called me babe. I was like, so, and then I'm like, no, my mom wants to get in a picture. And I don't know what he said, but Louis said, like, mom, or we can't forget her mom, or something. But he said it with this accent, and it was adorable. He's like, mom. And I loved it. And I found out after that Harry was flirting with my mom. All the girls in line after were running up to her. They're like, Harry flirted with you. So apparently when she walks up, he, like, sticks his leg out in front of her. I don't know what he was trying to do there. But, and he kept calling her sweetheart. So she gets in the line. And while she's talking to him and Niall, because he was over there, I'm really, this is what I'm most mad at myself about. I didn't talk to them while I was there. I was kind of just standing there, like, awkwardly, like, with my arms still ready for the picture. And they probably think I'm just, like, a quiet, terrified person. But, so then my mom's like, my daughter's turned you guys into a huge fan, and you guys are just great. You're so talented. And Harry said, thank you, sweetheart. He called her sweetheart 2 times, I think she said. So he's like, thank you, sweetheart. And then, so we got in the picture. And the original idea, my mom's like, oh, you should have Liam kiss you on the cheek for a picture. I completely forgot to ask. So I don't even know what I'm doing in that picture. And it was kind of awkward because the way it was, they were so close together, we were kind of in front of them. We weren't in between them. So I had my arm around Liam, but I felt awkward, like, going around his waist because I'm like, I don't know. I just was nervous. And Louis, I couldn't get my hand around his back, so it's kind of just dangling there. And I'm really scared to see that picture. So afterward, I forgot for Liam to kiss me for the picture. So I'm like, Liam, can I have a kiss on the cheek? And I don't think he even said anything. He kissed my cheek, and he did it so slow. Okay. He did it, like, so slow. It was like, and it was, like, the softest kiss. And I felt, like, he was rubbed against my face so much. I felt his stubble. Like, literally, I felt the roughness on my face because he's growing a little beard. Oh, my gosh. It was just amazing. And, this was the weird part. This was, like, my awkward part. I felt like I was in Disney World, where after you get the picture with the character, you give them a hug. So after Liam kissed my cheek, I just grabbed him and hugged him. I don't know what I was doing, but here's the thing. He was in a hoodie and a snapback, and he looked so, like, fluffy, and not fluffy, that sounds weird, but he just looked so, like, huggable, and I just went around and hugged him. I, like, went around his waist, and he was actually really, like, I thought he would be, like, a little more muscular, and his arms were muscular. I, like, felt them through his sweatshirt, but, like, his waist, he was, like, so thin, and I was afraid I was gonna break him. I was, like, and he was, like, I don't know if he was patting my back or, like, rubbing it, but he was doing something with my back. And then my mom, like, shook all their hands, but not, like, a weird shake. She was, like, cause she said she felt awkward to hug them. So she shakes their hands, and she was telling each of them, she's like, I just want to thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much you helped my daughter, which is true. So she said that to each of them. And then when I'm going out, but I felt kind of awkward because Liam and me were, like, hugging, and she's talking to the other 3. And Zane's kind of just on the side, and I felt really bad. Yeah, I felt really bad. So as I was walking out, I'm like, bye. And then I'm like, bye, Zane. And he's like, bye. So I had, like, an interaction with all of them, which was, like, really good. So we get out. I'm a mess. I'm crying. I'm laughing. I'm just, my emotions are just, I'm still, like, in shock. That's why I'm rambling. It's a mess. Oh, 10% of battery. Okay. If this dies in the middle, I'm sorry, you guys. But, yeah, so, that was meet and greet. And we went out to a hallway, and we were going to sound check. So we go, and we figured we're going to be in the back for sound check because we were late, and they probably let the sound check people in first. So we go in, and they're like, oh, ultimate in the first 2 rows. So we were in the first row for sound check, and I'm, like, freaking out. So the band comes out. This was after, like, 5 minutes of waiting. So the band comes out, and they're, like, screaming, and Sandy was, like, right in front of us. Their bass player, if you don't know. And his pants were, like, falling down. So he's turning around to try to fix them, but he has his bass around him, and he's, like, untying it, and it was so funny. But I wish I could have taken a picture of that. But I didn't. So then, yeah, so that was in, sound check. And then the boys came out, and everybody was screaming, but they're like, are you ready for our sound check party? And it honestly didn't feel like sound check. It just felt like a party, like they were just playing music. And it was awesome. So Harry's like, hello, Philadelphia. And everyone's like, whoa. He was telling how last time they were there, it was St. Patrick's Day, and they bought up a Foot Locker in Times Square and went green. You guys probably know the pictures. And he's like, so we love you, Philadelphia. And everyone screamed again. And he's like, this is how it's going to go. We're going to sing a song, answer some questions, and then sing another song. And he was, like, talking like that. He was, like, really in a good mood. Niall was, like, I don't know if he was maybe a little drunk. He was, like, so energetic in the concert, too. He was, like, jumping around so much. So they did Teenage Dirtbag. And I'm, like, oh, so amazing. So they're singing it, and I'm, like, singing along. And I wasn't really sure. Like, I'm in the front, and since I didn't have my camera, I didn't know what to do with my hands. So I'm just going, like, I'm just a teenage dirtbag. It was really awkward now that I think about it. I probably looked like a freak, but yeah. So I'm singing along there, and they're in the front, and they're singing. So then it was question and answers, and I had 2 really good questions. I even had a backup one in case, like, someone else asked it. But I think they asked people with regular VIP while we were meeting them, like, for questions. So first was a girl, and, oh my gosh, I forget her question. Oh, it was for, how did I forget that? Oh my gosh. She said, Zane, what's your favorite tattoo? And they all ended up answering. I forget what Zane even said. And Louie's like, my favorite tattoo is this new one I just got around my wrist. It's a rope. And he's like, it's real, don't worry. And everyone's, like, screaming. And I felt kind of special because I was, like, the first person to see his new tattoo. So anyway, he had the rope. And then Niall's like, my favorite's my secret one. And I'm like, oh. And they went into a whole conversation about that. And then Louie said, my favorite is my teacup. And no, actually, he said the rope, but then someone else, I think it was Liam, someone said, my favorite is Louie's teacup, and someone, I don't even know which of them saying, they're like, you can't go to bed without a cup of tea, and everyone's screaming. So then the next question was kind of awkward. It was a girl, and she's like, first, Zane, I just want to tell you that it's amazing to see someone from my heritage making it so big, and we're like, oh, that's nice, and stuff. And then she's like, so being from the same heritage, I was wondering if you have a favorite Bollywood song, and if you could sing it for us. And you could tell he didn't know any Bollywood songs. So he's kind of like, I'm not going to sing it. And I forget what the name of it was, but it was, like, not even a Bollywood song. Like, my mom knew. Everybody knew it. It wasn't, like, a real Bollywood song. Like, he's Pakistani. I don't think he really knows that much about Bollywood. But anyway, so he said that. And then, this was the worst one. This woman comes up and she says, I'm trying not to be in tears talking about you. You guys probably heard about this on Twitter, and she was saying basically how she was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumor, and she wasn't expected to live to see 2012, and the number one thing on her bucket list was for her to see her daughter hug them. So Wendy jumps off the stage, and this was actually the really cute part. Niall had his guitar, so he's taking his guitar off, and he was in the back, so he's running over. And the stage, there was, like, a good 5 feet between the stage and the ground, so they had to have one of their guards help them down. And Niall was so cute. He's like, wait for me, I've got tiny legs. And he's like going down. So then they all hugged her and they took a picture, and it was really cute. And it was like, at first everyone's like, oh, I'm so jealous. But like they honestly really deserved it. And they were like you could tell how much it meant to them. They were like in tears. And they were regular VIP, so they hadn't met them yet. And then, so they went back over. Niall goes to get up back on stage. He falls over. I'm like, Niall, are you okay? And then everyone's like, you okay, Niall? He's like, I'm good. And, yeah, so he was like, I'm good. And it was really cute. So then, the next question was this girl, and I felt so bad for her. She's like, my name's Rebecca. And they're like, can I call you Becky? And she's like, whatever you want. And she's like, I never thought you guys would even look at me. And she's like, I completely forget what my question was. And she just blanked out. She's like, what's your favorite song lyric? And they're like, come on, Becky, you can think of a better question. And we're all laughing. So she's looking at her friend, and it was like 30 seconds. They're like, any day now, Becky. And she's like, what's your favorite video game? And then she just started crying. Like, she goes to her friend. She's like, oh my. Like, she was so embarrassed. So I don't even remember what they said, actually, because I was just like, I wasn't even paying attention at that point, because Paul had just come out, and Paul was like walking by, high-fiving people. Oh, and when Louie was on the way back from hugging the girl and her mom, he high-fived me. So anyway, yeah. So then, that was the end of the questions. And then they're like, we'll see you again later. But last, we're gonna sing one song. And Louie's like, this is More Than This. But it was really cool, because it was like a fast version of More Than This. So, and it was really cool. Like, I'd never heard it like that before. And it was awesome. And the thing was, I had been waving to them the whole time, trying to get their attention. And at the end, Liam finally came to our side. And I was, like, blowing him kisses. I'm like, And then at the end, so after, like, I blew my 20th kiss at him, he blew me a kiss. And then he winked. He's like, and everyone around me's like, he blew me a kiss. And the girl that was with us was like, that was to you, that wasn't to them. And I'm like, I know. And then I started crying again. But while they were singing More Than This, it was so, like I said before, Harry's the most genuine guy you'll ever meet. He goes up to, like, their security people and says, bring them backstage. Like, he wanted the girl and her mom to go backstage. So then at the end, the security people brought her, and I think it was with her two friends, and one of their moms. So they all got to go backstage, and it was really sweet. And yeah, we found out later that they had actually already met them that morning or something. I'm not really sure, but still, I feel like they kind of deserved it. And yeah, so that was the end of sound check. They were waving a lot, and yeah, and then Sandy waved to me, and he waved to me during the show too. Again, I'll get there. So yeah, so then we went to, hold on, I'll get it. We went to the hallway, and they said, oh, you guys can get, sorry, they said you guys can get food, and there won't be lines because it wasn't open to the public yet, and you guys can get your gift bags. So we got the tour t-shirt. I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet. And the tour poster, again, haven't taken it out yet. And it all came in this fancy One Direction Take Me Home Tour 2013. And so we had that, and they put a little check on your necklace so that they know they got you already. So we got pizza and a pretzel, that was it. And we were still with the other girl, and the girl that had, like, tagged along with us, and she ended up getting sick, kind of sick, so her friend and her friend's mom had tickets, but not, like, VIP or anything, so when it opened to the public, she went with them, and they got her medicine, like, they called her mom, so we didn't actually see her until the show, so, we kind of just, like, walked around a little, and then we went to our seats, and they said the itinerary, like the official itinerary we had, said 5 Seconds of Summer comes out 7:45, 1D comes out 8:15, or 8:25, I think. And at the other concerts I had been to, after the opening act, there's like a huge gap, like between them where you're waiting, and it's really boring. But 5SOS came out at 8:05, so they were out there a really long time. So they were in the front, And I think I might have said this before. I'm not sure. Callum is my favorite. Like, I love all of them, but Callum and Ashton are, like, my 2 favorites. And he was standing right in front of us, and I'm, like, waving to them the whole time, and he kept doing his little tongue thing at people. He kept going, and I was, like, desperate for him to do it at me. He didn't, but he did it at a lot of other people around me, so I felt like I did. And then Ashton was like, can I get in? Well, no, then they told everyone about themselves. They're like, we're from Australia. And he's like, and Ashton's like, just 10 months ago, we were in my garage. And I love his accent so much. I have, like, an obsession with Australia. It's kind of sad, but I really want to go there. Not just because of them, but they help a little bit. So he said that, and then he's like, can I get an oh yeah? And we're like, oh yeah. And he's like, can I get a ooh yeah? And we're like, ooh yeah. He's like, I was going to say something more sexual, but I don't think I should go any further. And we're all laughing and screaming, and it was really amazing. And then his drum set broke. I think it was after they did Teenage Dream. I'm not really sure. Oh, and this was the worst part. I might not have it. Well, they sell these, like, little mini 5SOS posters, so of course I'd get one. So I got it, and I'm, like, holding it up while they're there. And I realized halfway through that I was holding it upside down. So that was really embarrassing. But I realized, and then I think it was right after I realized, I think it was after Teenage Dream. I don't really remember. I have it on video. And Ashton's cymbal came off his drum. He's like, everybody stop. I can't do an Australian accent, I'm sorry. He's like, my drum set broke. And he's like, hold on, let me fix it. And he's like, Bob the Builder. You guys probably heard about this on Twitter. It was even cuter in person. He's like, Bob the Builder. And we're like, can you fix it? And he's like, Bob the Builder. Yes, we can. And then he starts singing the whole thing where it's like, Scoop, whatever, Dizzy. And he's like, I don't think I'll go any further. So, again, I can't do Australian accents. So, they did that. And then I think they ended with Heartbreak Girl. I don't even remember. They were like a blur. The whole concert is actually kind of a blur. But, I waved to them, and Ashton waved to me. Well, you can't really tell if he's waving to you or, like, people behind you when you're in the front row. So he, like, at the end, he, like, ran around in a circle because he was in the drums the whole time, obviously. And I think he might have waved to me. I'm not really sure. And I felt kind of awkward. I was like, Ash! I was like, it's a weird nickname. I don't know. I think it was kind of awkward that I called him that. But I thought I was going to meet them in the meet and greet, too. Because, like, people last year said they had met Ollie when he was opening for them. But yeah, they were amazing. I've seen 1D twice before. First time, Monika was their opening act. Yeah. And then the second time was Cameron, and she wasn't that bad. She wasn't terrible, because she did, like, cover songs. So she was okay, but 5SOS, like, was amazing. Like, they could have their own tour. Like, and yeah, they were just amazing. And, like, they're just like 1D, how they, like, goof off on stage. My mom's like, I bet they have a lot of fun with the boys on tour. And we're like, yeah. And then they showed, so then after 5SOS came off, it's like 8:15. We're like, oh, 1D's going to come on soon. And they showed the full-length promo for 1D, 3D, This Is Us. It was, I had seen already. And, oh, also, I forgot to say that in Soundcheck. They were like, you guys excited for the best song ever? They're like, you can pre-order at midnight. And I was like, guys, I hear it's going to be the best song ever. And it was really cute, and it was funny. And he was in a tank top, and he had a bunch of nip slips, gotta say. And, I'm like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, so anyway, we're front row. Oh, I forgot to tell I'm sorry, I'm forgetting stuff. So, at the end of Soundcheck, after the boys went off stage, Paul walked by, again, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him this time. Because my plan the whole time, I was like, I'm gonna ask Paul how his son's doing, because his little baby that got sick. That was born early. And so he walks by. I'm like, Paul, how's the baby? And he's like, he's doing really well. Thanks for asking. I'm like, you're welcome. And then, yeah, so then, anyway, back to the show. Or the concert, whatever. You know what I meant. I'm sorry. I know I'm sorry. This is my first one of these. I'm really awkward. I'm sorry. So, the show, we were the front row. The whole thing was just, like, crazy. And the people next to us had made little paper signs. And, I was like, can I have a piece of paper? Because they were making them right there. They're like, yeah, sure. And I wrote, thanks for saving my life on it with, like, 2 hearts on it. And, I'm just gonna, I can't even, like, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm still, like, in shock from this whole thing. But, like, I'm just gonna give the best moments from the concert. Well, oh, also on soundcheck, Niall did a jump, and it was really amazing. It was so good. But, yeah, so, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm just gonna give a few best moments from the concert. I gotta say, there was a lot of Zium going on. Like, Liam and Zayn were always, like, in front of us, and I have, like, 10 pictures at different points of them just, like, with their arms around each other or talking, and it was so cute. I used to ship, Larry the most, but now I have a Zium heart. Sorry. So, as much as I love Liam, no, I'm kidding, don't worry. I'm not one of those fans. So there was a lot of that going on, and Harry was, like, waving to the crowd a lot, and he at one point, my mom waves, and he waved to her. He didn't wave to me, which was kind of sad, but, she was, like, pointing to my sign, and 2 of them noticed my sign. Louis noticed. He was sitting on the stair, and I was, like, pointing to it. I think I got it on video, but I'm not positive. So I'm pointing to my sign. I'm like, Louis! And I think I called him Lou or Toma. I'm like, Lou, look! And, he saw it, and he smiled, and he did this thing. He's like, and it was right at me, so I know it was for me. And then later on, like, I think it wasn't the finale. It wasn't the encore. I think it was in Kiss You. I'm not really sure. But, Louis saw it. Not Louis, I just told him. Sorry. Niall saw it. And he was, like, singing right to our section, and he's doing his little shoulder thing. And I'm like, Niall! I'm like, Nyler! And he looked over, and he was like, because he, like, knew how much it meant for me, I think. Yeah, and Zayn was, at one point, literally singing right to us, and he was staring us right in the eye, and I was calling him, I'm like, Zayn, can you point at us? I don't know what I wanted him to do, but he was, like, looking me right in the eye, so I'm pretty sure he saw it. And Harry and Liam were the ones that heard in meet and greet, so they all know how much they've helped me, so I'm pretty happy. So then other highlights from the show, the Twitter questions were pretty funny. One was, what would you name a pet unicorn? Niall. And Liam said Trevor. I think Harry said Dave. One of them said Dave. And then Niall's like, I would name it... Oh, and I forget who it was. Someone said, I would name it Niall, so maybe it could be half as cute as he is. I'm like, oh. And then Niall says, I would name mine Ice Cream Cone Head. And it was so cute. And this was when they come in the air and they're in that, like, center stage. So we're kind of there by ourselves, and I had to sit down because my leg is really hurting. And Sandy, I waved to him, and he waved to me because he was, like, on his little break. He was drinking water. And then I wanted it on video. I know, I'm sorry, Sandy. So I waved to him again, and I got it on video. He's like, hey, I'm like, hi. So, oh yeah, also, this is the wristband they give you if you're in the front row, because I guess they don't want fakes coming up there. But it was really nice. Like, I thought originally our seats were supposed to be, like, 5th row. And I'm like, oh, it's not a difference between, like, 1st to 5th, and it actually is, because if you're in the front, you can, like, hang on the side rail, or you can dangle a sign over, so it was just amazing. It was so good, and, yeah, so the next question was, what, toppings do you put on your pizza? And I love Domino's pizza. I'm, like, the only one in my family, but I love it. And Liv was like, when I go to Domino's, and I'm like, yeah! And people were kind of staring at me because no one else cheered right then. But everybody cheers at random points, so it was okay. And I don't even remember what they said there because I was sitting down. I was eating popcorn, actually. I know. I'm sorry, boys. I didn't really pay attention for that part. And then, the next question was, can you guys do the Harlem Shake? And they did it. They Harlem Shaked it. It was pretty good. I couldn't really see because we were, like, in the front, so we were kind of far. But, yeah, it was still really good. And, when they flew above us in the air, Niall kept turning around to us in the back. And the people a few rows behind us, I think, had a sign that said, Harry, Vine us. And the people to our left, like, in the bleachers, but still pretty close to us, had a sign saying, Phillystagram, or Philly, whatever, you know what I mean. And, they kept saying how and I know they say this to everyone, they're like, you're the best fans ever, but they were saying a lot how we were the loudest, and then 5SOS, like, they kept saying, they're like, honestly, this is one of the most attractive crowds we've ever had. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that means they saw me and they think I'm attractive. I don't know if they need glasses or something, but I don't know what they saw. It probably wasn't me. But anyway, so they kept saying that, and Harry's like, the 3 best things about Philadelphia are 1, Philly cheesesteaks, 2, Philly cheesesteaks, and 3, you guys! And everyone started cheering. It was, yeah, that was one of the best moments too. And there were just so many great moments. And when you're that close, you can just see how much they love it and how much they appreciate it. And Niall did like 3 jumps right in front of us. I was like freaking out. And he wore his Crazy Mofos shirt. And I was kind of freaking out there again. And there's so many moments. I can't even pick specific ones from the concert. There was just like, I literally have so many. I could make like a 12-hour video about the 2-hour concert. It was just like, I know some people say like a spoiled rich kid because I've seen them 3 times, but honestly, like, you guys have no idea how much this means to me to be able to like meet them, and like they've helped me through so much, and I just like, I've had some really tough times, and I don't know if I would have been able to get through it without them. Like, I mean, I would have made it, but I don't think I would be as happy as I am today, or like. And I made so many new friends, whether on Twitter or at schools or stuff. Like, I've made so many new friends from just One Direction, and they really did change my life. Like, I don't know if they saved my life. That was probably bad wording on my part, but they really did change my life. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of other moments from the concert. There were just so many. Like, I can't even pick specific ones. It's just amazing. And the other cute thing that I didn't notice before, they all lip sync each other's parts, and it was really cute. And also the earpieces, like the earplugs they wear, Liam's have Batman on them, and Niall's have the little Irish flag on them. So that was a cute thing. And also the coolest moment I think of the whole concert. Well, Harry also took a picture of us, and he Instagrammed it. And you can actually see my face on it. You can see me and my mom's face on it in the front row. If you look a little to the left, we are there. And also 5SOS, I forget which song it was. People are probably going to kill me for not knowing. But they did one of their slow songs. And they said, everyone with a light, put it on. I'm like, oh, it's opening act. People probably aren't going to listen. And everybody did it. And I'll probably post a picture of it. But it was just amazing to be standing there. And me and my mom were taking pictures of us like with it. It was just the coolest thing. And in moments, I was crying. Niall teared up. And I can't describe. That was like the best moment of my life. They're literally flying right above me. Niles turns around to look at us. There's lights completely in the full stadium. I'm in the front row, and I was just, oh my gosh, it was just like, I'm sorry, I'm like tearing up thinking about it. It was, sorry, it was just so like amazing and perfect, and I don't know. It was the best Christmas present I could have ever asked for. Like, it was the best like day ever in my entire life. There were just, I just can't even think of like specific moments. There were just so many. But yeah, so I'm sorry. So yeah, I hope that's pretty much it. I hope that was good for you guys. I hope maybe I helped somebody. Like, you guys all help me with your videos. Maybe I can help somebody going to meet and greet, or just maybe helping guys that won't get a chance to go, just to like make you feel like you were there. I don't know. So yeah, comment any questions, or comment if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you think I should do better if I ever do another one of these, if I should make another one about like more detailed, about like one with meet and greet, soundtrack, and the concert. So yeah, or just comment hi, comment anything, and like, comment, and subscribe. So I'm Kelly, and also follow me on Twitter. My personal is at KellyM1023, but if you're gonna follow one, pick at Liam Girl, at capital Liam, Liam, capital G Girl, underscore 1, capital D underscore capital R5. So Liam Girl underscore 1D underscore R5. So yeah, and if you tweet, I pretty much always follow back on both accounts. And if you comment below, I'll follow you on Twitter. And yeah, so if you're still watching by now, thank you. I know, I'm sorry. It's like 40 minutes. I'm really sorry. And my battery's about to die. So, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.